The world watched with bated breath as Iran and Israel's shadow war erupted into open conflict, a dangerous escalation that threatened to destabilize the entire region. Drones, missiles, and escalating threats filled the headlines, painting a grim picture of potential all-out war. A conflict that risked igniting the entire Middle East, a region already simmering with tension and unrest. This wasn't just another clash, it was a powder keg. It was a flashpoint with the potential to draw in global superpowers, forcing them to take sides and potentially triggering a wider global conflict, and destabilize the international order, shaking the foundations of global peace and security that had been painstakingly built over decades. Now, a fragile ceasefire has been declared, a sliver of hope in a sea of uncertainty. After intense negotiations, brokered by international mediators working around the clock. But no one is calling it peace. The relief is palpable, yet tinged with apprehension. The core issues remain unresolved, festering beneath the surface, ready to erupt once more. And the world's attention hasn't wavered. Every development is scrutinized, every statement analyzed. Why? Because this conflict sits at the crossroads of military power, a region bristling with advanced weaponry, nuclear capability, the ever-present threat of unimaginable destruction, and regional influence, a complex web of alliances and rivalries that could easily spiral out of control. A direct war between Iran and Israel would spill into Lebanon, already weakened by political instability. Syria, a nation ravaged by years of brutal civil war. Iraq, struggling to maintain its fragile stability amidst ongoing internal conflicts. And disrupt vital shipping lanes, the arteries of global commerce, essential for the flow of oil and goods. Threatening global stability, sending shockwaves through financial markets and impacting economies worldwide. This ceasefire is more than a local truce. It's a precarious agreement with global implications. It's a brief global reprieve, a moment to catch our breath before the next crisis erupts. It's a window for diplomacy, a chance to address the underlying issues and build a more lasting peace. But also a high-stakes standoff, where miscalculations and provocations could easily shatter the fragile calm. The question isn't if the truce will be tested, but when and how severely, and what the fallout will be, not just for the region, but for the entire world. The world holds its breath, watching and waiting, knowing the consequences will reach far beyond the region, impacting global economies, security alliances, and the very fabric of international relations. The stakes are nothing less than the future of global security and the hope for lasting peace in a volatile world. A war between Iran and Israel, two major players in a volatile region, hits your wallet faster than you might think. The globalized economy means that geopolitical tensions have very real and immediate financial consequences for individuals around the world. It all starts with oil. The Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway that Iran can potentially threaten to close or disrupt, is widely considered the world's most critical oil choke point. A staggering 1/5 of the world's total oil supply passes through this strategic waterway daily, making it indispensable to global energy markets. When conflict erupts in the region, even a perceived threat to the strait, oil prices immediately surge, reflecting the increased risk and uncertainty. Simultaneously, insurance costs for shipping through the area soar, as insurers factor in the higher risk of damage or seizure. And global energy markets often react with panic, leading to volatility and instability. During the recent escalation of tensions, Brent crude, a global benchmark, shot past $110 a barrel in anticipation of further disruptions, directly driving up gas prices at the pump worldwide. Higher fuel costs, however, are just the beginning. They inevitably mean more expensive groceries at the supermarket, increased prices for a wide range of goods, and higher costs for various services. This all contributes to pushing up the overall cost of living for people everywhere. Inflation spreads throughout the economy as businesses are forced to pass on their rising costs to consumers, effectively shrinking your savings and stretching your paycheck increasingly thin. In essence, a Middle East war exports inflation globally, impacting economies far beyond the region itself. It also exposes the fragility and interconnectedness of global supply chains, highlighting vulnerabilities in the system. But the impact extends beyond just oil. Shipping routes and air freight operations are often disrupted due to security concerns or increased insurance premiums, ultimately slowing down overall economic growth on a global scale. While the recent ceasefire has temporarily steadied prices and calmed markets for now, the initial shock served as a stark reminder of how quickly a regional war, even one seemingly far away, can trigger widespread global economic pain and financial instability. Therefore, no matter where you live on the globe, your own financial well-being is inextricably tied to the pursuit of peace and stability in the Middle East. A seemingly distant conflict can quickly hit home, impacting your daily life in ways that you feel every single day, from the gas pump to the grocery store. And that's precisely why the world simply cannot afford to look away from the region's challenges. The most immediate cost of war is human suffering. As missiles struck near cities, families fled, leaving homes, jobs, and communities behind. Neighboring countries like Jordan and Lebanon, already stretched by past crises, faced a new wave of desperate refugees. Aid organizations scrambled to respond, warning of a looming humanitarian disaster. The ceasefire stopped the fighting, but not the displacement. Many are too afraid to return. The scars of war are measured in broken lives and lost generations. The ongoing conflict between Iran and Israel has profoundly reshaped the region's existing alliances, creating new partnerships and dissolving old ones. This constant state of flux has made it difficult to predict the future of the Middle East. It has also significantly impacted global power dynamics, forcing nations to reevaluate their strategies and allegiances. Arab states, finding themselves caught between their own strategic interests and the often conflicting sentiments of their public opinion, faced a difficult balancing act. Publicly, they condemned the violence, but behind closed doors, many quietly cooperated with Israel on matters of security and intelligence. The crisis served as a critical test for the Abraham Accords, exposing both their strengths and their vulnerabilities. It also inadvertently empowered hardliners and extremist groups across the region, providing them with new opportunities to gain influence. This surge in extremism has made future diplomatic efforts even more challenging and complex. As the conflict unfolded, global powers were compelled to take sides, with America reaffirming its unwavering support for Israel, while Russia and China offered their backing to Iran, further deepening existing rivalries and creating new points of contention on the global stage. The fragile ceasefire has, for now, frozen tensions in place, but it has not resolved the underlying issues that continue to fuel the conflict. The world is undeniably moving toward a more multipolar order, characterized by rapidly shifting alliances and the emergence of unpredictable actors on the international stage. The strategic decisions made in the coming months and years will undoubtedly shape the landscape of international relations for decades to come. This crisis proved that no conflict is truly distant in our interconnected world. Economic shocks, rising prices, and refugee flows all ripple across borders. The stability of energy, markets, and supply chains depends on peace in volatile regions. The refugee crisis challenges our shared humanity and tests global compassion. Investing in diplomacy and conflict prevention isn't charity, it's self-preservation. We're all participants in a shared destiny. The pursuit of peace anywhere is an investment in security everywhere. The lesson, peace in one corner, matters to us all.